I'm always asked, why doesn't my Atmos clock work? Well, usually the clocks don't work because the main spring is gummy, it needs to get overhauled, or the bellows is flat, it needs some ethyl chloride. The clock with the square dial is regulating with 6 other clocks. This clock was at a professional clock shop for 2 years. They couldn't get it to run. I had it up and running within 3 to 4 days. I'm going to go over the unusual circumstances of why this clock isn't operating. There was 3 defects. Any one of those 3 defects would have stopped the clock. However, this one had all 3. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about these. This is an email that I received from a client. They've had their clock sent to a local clockmaker for a couple of years and he was not able to fix the clock. So this isn't unusual. I do get emails like this quite a bit. Okay, the clock came in and the first thing I noticed was the shoulder height on the suspension spring was set a little bit too low. Now I want you to pay close attention to those drag marks on the impulse roller. There should never be drag marks quite that dark. Sometimes there's a little bit, but not bad. So this would have stopped the clock from operating. When he installed the new suspension spring, he set the suspension spring too low. So that little top part of the balance tube is rubbing up against the stop plate right there. You only have 0.3 millimeters of clearance here, so this alone would have stopped the clock. Number 2, I took out the fork and the fork is not poised. This alone would have stopped the clock. So far we have 2 things that would have stopped the clock. All right, fork is poised. Very simple process, but not everybody does this. A new suspension spring has been installed because I don't trust the suspension spring that was installed, and it turns out it was kinked. Okay, so the clock has been reassembled. Everything is working great, so we think. Let's take a look at the distance between the upper and lower plate on the stop plate and see if we have clearance. Now, there's a little bit of a warp to that top part of the balance. I don't know why there's a warp, but I think maybe somebody was prying on that. Look how good the amplitude is. I'm running at about 600-degree amplitude. The impulse roller has been polished, and this is how a fork should operate. You push the fork, we tap it. There's no dragging. It's just capturing the impulse roller. It starts the movement of the fork, and then the fork pushes the impulse roller the rest of the way. And again, the impulse roller comes all the way back around about 3 millimeters away from the fork, so amplitude's fantastic. This is going to be a very good performing clock. Maybe, but not yet. We haven't come up on the 3rd defect yet, and look how nice the distance is between the balance tube and the fork. Okay, clock ran for about, 6 hours, and it stopped completely. Now there's a little bit of, it's having a hard time moving the minute hand. Okay, remember I said 3 things could have stopped this clock from operating. Here we have the minute hand on the left and a 528 minute hand on the right. We're going to compare the 2 by poising them on this very small drill bit. And when we put the 528 hand that has brass removed from the factory, it is perfectly poised. Usually this is how they look. You never have to worry about poising these hands. They're poised at the factory and you never have to touch them. Now we have the minute hand from the clock that's not operating, and it is very heavy on the smaller side of the hand. This is where the manufacturer normally drills out the counterweight and poises it. But as you can see, this thing just wants to fall. No matter what position we put it in, it wants to go straight up. Okay, we're going to weigh this hand. Notice there's no dimple at the back. It weighs 2.12 grams. We're going to drill it out. Drill out just a little bit of material to try to get everything poised. And it's been drilled out, and now we are going to check for poise, and notice it stops when we set it in a position. It doesn't want to rotate back around. So we have a poised hand. These clocks take very little effort to move the balance. It's a very small amount of energy, so anything will stop them. And you'll see that we removed less than, it wants to float between 2.1 and 2.12 grams, so very, very little material has been removed. All right, now we're going to see how it works. We're going to reinstall it on the clock. The dial and hands have been installed on the clock, and it's currently regulating. During the regulation process, weights are added or subtracted from the balance to try and speed up or slow down the clock to within about a minute or 30 seconds a day. And then final regulation is done with the lever at the top of the clock. But you'll notice the clock is working fantastic. Those 3 defects were corrected. Now we have a proper operating Atmos clock. You can look at the balance at the bottom and you'll notice that there's 19 motif revolutions. These motifs are 30 degrees apart, so we got 570 degree amplitude. Beautiful clock. It should be out the door probably in another, I'm gonna guess, 3 weeks.